If you want to get faster in the 100, but you're not exactly sure how to train, then this video is for you. What I see all the time is people are familiar with technique, they're familiar with the race strategy, but they don't understand what their training program should look like. We already have a video about a 100-meter race strategy, which I'll link in the description below, but how do you tailor that training to fit that strategy? That's exactly what we're about to talk about today. So just a brief story. I was training someone literally yesterday, and he was talking about all the work that he was putting in. And for this athlete in particular, he was telling me how he runs around the block, gets in his miles, which is good stuff, but not necessarily tailored to what he wants to do. And what he had to learn was take his work ethic and put it towards the type of training that he needs specific for his events. So first and foremost, you have to have your goal. It has to be clear. It has to be defined. What I told my athlete the other day is that you have to know what the end of your season looks like, and then you work backwards from there. If you don't have a goal and your goal is to just run fast, then what does that even mean? You have to define it. And so we can break it down into small sections, like week by week goals. We know exactly where we're headed when we're off of our path that we want. So super important. We're going to probably make a different video about how to form your goals. But today we're going to focus a lot on training quality when you train quality and train quantity when you train quantity. Right? Once we understand that we have to have our goal, we have to know what the end of our season is going to look like as far as time, as far as what meet we want to be competing in at the end of the season. We know that we're going to train quality when you train quality, quantity when you train quantity. We'll then be able to take apart the 100-meter dash and break it into sections. Now, if you remember from our strategy video, we have like drive phase here, first 30, transition to top end speed around 70 here, and then you just try to maintain speed through the finish. And what I did with this, right, if we have a larger goal that we're working towards, we're able to break it down even more granular, even into smaller sections, which is why I have 10, 20, 30, 40. I've broken it apart every 10 meters, right? And so what you're going to find is that you can judge how your training is going, how your speed is currently, based off of your times at each of these 10-meter intervals. And so what I have here is this pyramid. Now, this is just a suggestion. You're going to have coaches like, I know 10 coaches that are better than I am at coaching. They may not be better at making videos telling you what to do, right? But if you sat down and talked to them, they would find flaws in this, and I would be able to learn something, you would be able to learn something. But this is like just a general outline, especially for if you're a beginner, if you don't have the quality of coaching that you're looking for, which is why I'm assuming you're on this video. So I created this just pyramid style here. And the reason that it's a pyramid is, right, you have your off season right here. It's going to be like our football guys, sometimes basketball guys, soccer, whatever other sport you might be doing. Maybe you just want to hang out with your friends and play around and get big in the weight room here. That's kind of what off season is, right? Preseason, we begin to start to tailor our fitness regimen, our fitness routine for track and field, and for the big boys, big girls, college. Preseason is going to be October-ish, right? So what I have on this side is 2,400 meters. Now we're talking about how to train quality when you train quality and train quantity when you train quantity. So you don't want to sprint like much more than 2,400 meters. This is not all at one time. This is when you break your workout into reps, into sets, right? But when you add them all together, you don't want it to be greater than 2,400 meters. And when you look at a weekly basis, a monthly basis, you want to stay around like the 70% quantity style workouts, 25% quality style workouts, which we're going to discuss in just a second here. And you're looking at like a 2 to 6 minute rest in between reps, right? What I told you about my athlete that came to me and told me that he was kind of just running 2 miles straight, that is not tailored to how to get faster in sprinting at all. You're working completely different energy systems, so you're not actually benefiting, like conditioning wise, maybe. Even still, like you're not really working towards a fast 100-meter dash here, right? Okay, so instead of talking just arbitrarily like percentages and all this stuff, I'll give you some style workouts that I enjoy. So if you want to have this 2,400 total like goal inside of a workout, you could do something like, 8 times 300 Okay, where you're still allowing yourself 2 to 6 minutes in between each. That will get you there. You could do something like 2 times 10 sets of 100-meter repeats, where you run 100, you walk back to the start, you run another 100. That'll be about 2 to 6 minutes rest, the walk back. You repeat that 10 times. You take a bigger break, that may be 12 to 15 minutes rest, and then you repeat those same 10 sets again. And this is going to total 2,000 meters. And then you take the same maybe style workout, but you do them on hills or stadiums where you're kind of doing times 10 times a 100-meter here, which would equal 1,000. And then if you're lucky enough to have a hill that is a 200-meter, you'll go 5 times 200 meters uphill. All right, this is hill work, and this will equal 2,000 meters as well. Okay, so this is just like some of the example workouts that I have in this 12-week program, which I'll link in the description below if you're interested, where I went through and just kind of gave some sample workouts that could take you through 12 weeks to get you to reach your goals. Okay, so those are some examples of quantity workouts that you could do to total your 2,400 meters. Now look at some of the quality style workouts that you could do. So we're talking about things such as like maybe 8 times 150. You run a 150, walk back to the start, repeat. That only equals about 1,200 meters. One of the most important parts about this whole concept is when you train quality, you don't work up to, right? You can't train quality 2-mile sprinting. It doesn't work like that. You drop down the volume and you increase the rest of it. So I wouldn't be mad if you took the whole 6 minutes here to recover from these 150 repeats. That would be a style of a preseason quality workout. But and like I said, you want to do that 1 day a week, and then the rest of the days you can be those bigger volume style workouts. Okay, so now we're in season. We want to have about 66%. Again, I just made these up. This is just based off of experience and kind of trying to deal with even numbers. It's going to be different based off of athletes, but this is what I came up with. So like 66% style quality, 33% style quantity. You want to reduce your volume here to 1,500 meters for the week. For a workout. Because you're dealing with much more quality, and in addition to dealing with more quality, you're going to increase your rest 6 to 8 minutes. So I'll give you some examples. So easy example of a quality style workout is that you're going to drop down your 150s to 6 times 150, right? So you reduce it by 2 sets from preseason, because now we're in season. This is going to be spiked up, and then you're going to definitely take those 6 to 8 minutes rest for these. Possibly another style quality workout is going to be something like 4 times 250. And I know that, 250 is going to be obviously long for 100-meter runners. So you're going to want to take that full 8 minutes rest. But what you want to make sure is that these are quality. And that's why you're taking 8 minutes rest. That's why you're doing them in spikes. And that's why the total meters that we're sprinting is only 1,000, even though we can work up to 1,500. We're working for quality here. We want these to actually be pretty fast, 85% full speed. Okay. Actually, I know I said 4, but you could do 5, which will be 1,250 meters total. And then an example of a quantity style workout is you could do something like, let's see, that would be 5 times 300 meters with 6 minutes rest will get you to 1,500. These are less focused on quality, although you still want them to be fairly high quality, but a little bit shorter rest. Maybe you treat it more as you don't need spikes, maybe, or something like that. Okay, now that we're working towards peak season, what we want to do here is up the quality again, 85-ish%, 90%, like super high quality, way more frequently, with less quantity. I wrote 15% here. Again, just arbitrary numbers. You want like a total of about 1,000-ish meters here for the whole workout. And you want to increase the rest even more, 8 to 12. It takes 8 to 12 minutes to fully recover your nervous system. you want to make sure that you're allowing for full recovery of your nervous system, because oftentimes you're working at 100% speed, and sometimes you're working at greater than 100% speed, and I'll explain exactly what that means right now. So a good style workout for this is going to be, this is a good one. I told you, like 3 times all of these distances, as well as, let's say you're working dry phase to top end speed. You're working dry phase into an acceleration. So what you can have is flying 60s. We can go like 3 sets of 3. So what you'll do is you can start in blocks, or you can start standing up. You'll run. You'll time this distance here. See what your time is. See if you're on pace for your goal, and really try to accelerate through this zone. That's a good style workout. Another one that you could do that's going to be a little bit longer is going to be 125s here, where you're making sure that you're timing your 125s to be on pace with your goal time. You want to be able to run just a little bit you want to be able to maintain your goal speed for a little bit further than the goal requires here, as far as 100 meter is concerned, which changes when you start looking at the 200 and 400 meters. So make sure you watch those next, because I'll create the same style video, but tailor it to those style trainings. And you can do this, 5 times here. But when you start getting into like real peak season, you want to do this, 3 times. At this point in the season, you're going to have many more days of light load work. You want to be really quick in the weight room. And then you're going to have much more demands for high quality work in less quantity during peak season. And I promise you, like, the pros don't compete in all of these. You usually get a 1-2 guy, a 2-4 guy, but they're able to do them all, and they're able to do them all at an elite or, above average level. Okay, so like that was a ton. There's still so much more to go over. I tried to keep it as basic as possible. I don't know if I did. I may have confused you more, but no matter what, like if you're interested in a 12-week program where I laid all this out, go ahead and just follow the link in the description below.